When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go
downtown.
You've got worries, all the noise and the hurry seems to help. I know. Downtown. In 1982, in one day, my lover and one of my friends both died from a disease which was destroying our population and didn't even have a name. It had never been made it farther than probably page 15 in the New York Times, and it was all over the cover of the other papers. My friend was named Miss Dusty, and Miss Dusty was a drag queen. And I said, "Why are you called Miss Dusty?" He said, "Because I love me the son of the preacher man." Now, what Miss Dusty did was I was subletting on the top floor of this awful building on 14th Street, a few doors down from the Chelsea Hotel. Miss Dusty managed the Elexante hair and wig shop on 14th Street, where he had actually discovered the whole idea of gift with a purchase. And he was very popular because if you bought a Dynel wig there, he gave you the styrofoam head to go. But how he made his money is he sold copious amounts of cocaine. The hair was fake, the coke was pure. He took a liking to me, and he thought I was very naive, which I was in a way. I really just moved to New York, and he always wanted to give me kind of great advice. And he'd say things like, "Girlfriend, when a boy is as young and cute as you, if he has to buy his own drugs, he has burned a bridge somewhere. And you better piss on that bridge, because this is a small town." Or he'd say, "Never cruise the docks on every other Wednesday. That's the night the cops like to bust the queers." The love of my life at the time was a closet queen man from Greenwich, Connecticut, whose family didn't know he was gay, who looked like one of the husbands in the Cialis commercial. He would hold your hand in a bathtub. And he was from Greenwich, Connecticut. And we met one day, literally, it was so happy-go-lucky. We met him at the Tease exhibit at MoMA. And now you must go back and remember, I was cute, charming, naive, and had Mark Ruffalo's hair. And he asked me to lunch, and we began this furtive, under the radar affair. And he taught me things like, "Ralph, never show up with cut flowers to a dinner party. Because the last thing in the world a hostess wants to do is run around looking for a vase when all she really wants is a martini. And always make sure that your thank you notes are sent out within 24 hours." We went to dinner one night at a place called Raoul's, which was my favorite down in the village. And he coughed. Now, you weren't there, but there was the sound of the cough that could clear a room. There's never been a sound like it. And he coughed, and I knew. And he knew that I knew. We ate our dinner, and he slipped a box across the table to me, and inside was a DuPont pen, solid gold from Paris, and with a note inside that said, "Always remember your thank you notes, and please don't forget me." What I learned from Dusty was that never burn a bridge, because you never know when you're going to need to cross it. And to never, ever be ashamed of who I am. And what I learned from Walter was never forget your thank you notes. And because he was taken home to die by people who didn't know who he really was, because when he died, they put him in a mahogany box, closed lid, they lied and told everybody he died of leukemia, and then they had a perfect little luncheon of vol au vent and Sancerre. I learned the lesson from him to never be ashamed of who I was. Dusty didn't get to die in such a comfortable way. Dusty died after spending 3 days on a gurney in the charity ward of St. Vincent's Hospital because there were no beds. He didn't have a wonderful luncheon. He was cremated, and we all heard later that I guess a relative, his mother or someone, had picked him up. New York was in a panic. We were petrified. We had a disease that had no name. Our life became nothing but funerals and memorial services. But I was walking down the street one day, and I saw my friend Robert. And then whenever you saw a friend who was still alive, you kind of go, yay. And I saw my friend Robert, and we're talking and talking and talking about who's dead and whose funeral and who whatever. And Robert said, oh, and by the way, it's my birthday. And in the back of my head, Dusty said to me, child, enough memorial. You need a revival. Give this boy a birthday. So I called 2 friends, and he called 2 friends, and they called 2 friends, and they called 2 friends, and there was such a hunger to laugh again and feel joy again, and to realize that there was love again, that was the biggest motherfucking party you've ever seen. When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. We can skip the mine shaft with the leather queens and Crisco. We'll go to the Monster, where there's cocktails, boys, and disco. Happy again. Tonight will be brighter than. We shall forget all our troubles, forget our cares, and go downtown. We're gonna dance again. Downtown. We're gonna laugh again. Downtown. We're gonna love again. Downtown. We're gonna fuck again. Downtown. We will pretend again that nothing is waiting for you.